In this class, we shall discuss some of the important NEET and KCET bits. Already you have learnt in the previous class mechanism of breathing and respiratory volumes and capacities. So on this topic, let us discuss. First question, at the time of inspiration, the diaphragm. So to initiate the inspiration, first diaphragm has to contract. So option B is correct answer for question 1. Second one, rate of breathing in an adult human. So rate of breathing in a healthy person is 12 to 16 times per minute. So it is mentioned in option B. For second one, option B is the right answer. Third question, during expiration diaphragm becomes. So diaphragm will be contracting in the inspiration step. So next in the expiration, the diaphragm relaxes. When it relaxes, it attains the original shape, that is dome shaped. Hence for third question, answer B is the correct answer. Fourth one, which of the following sequences is correct to initiate inspiration? So in the initiation of inspiration, it involves some of the sequence orders. So all those sequence orders are mentioned but not in the proper way. You need to arrange in the sequential order and find the answer for it. So here I will tell the initiation of inspiration steps. First, you know that diaphragm contracts. Once the diaphragm contracts, the thoracic volume is going to increase in anterior and posterior axis. Next, the external intercostal muscles will contract. Sternum and ribs will be moving in upward direction. Once the ribs and sternum moves in the upward direction, the thoracic volume increases in dorsal and ventral axis. Once the thoracic volume increases in dorsal, ventral and anterior posterior axis, the whole size of the thoracic volume is going to increase, which brings even change in the volume of lungs. When the pulmonary volume increases, it decreases the pulmonary pressure. Once the pulmonary pressure decreases, it makes the air from the atmosphere to enter inside our lungs. So these are the sequential order of initiation of inspiration, but here they are not arranged in proper way. First diaphragm contracts, next the volume of the thorax increases in the dorsoventral axis. After that, contraction of external intercostal muscles raises the ribs and sternum. Then the intrapulmonary pressure decreases, air rushes to lungs. So these are the orders in the given orders. These can be in the sequential order. So that is mentioned in option C. So for 4, option C is the correct answer. Fifth question, the given figure illustrates the changes in lung volume during the process of breathing it represents. So here they have given a picture and it is labeled. So you need to find it is which step of the breathing. You can see the labelings: ribs and sternum raised, diaphragm contracted, volume of thorax increased. So all these steps are observed in the breathing, that is with inspiration. So for fifth question, A is the right answer. Sixth one, what structures are responsible for breathing process? So for mechanism of breathing, the diaphragm and intercostal muscles helps for the breathing process. So for sixth, option D is the correct answer. Seventh one, during inspiration, air passes into lungs due to increase in volume of thoracic cavity and fall in lung pressure. B option, increased pressure inside the lungs. C option, decreased volume of thoracic cavity. D option, muscular contraction of lungs. So during inspiration, what happens? From the atmosphere, the air is entering into the lungs, because in the atmosphere the pressure will be more, in the lungs pressure will be less. Why in the lungs pressure becomes less? Because of the increased thoracic volume. So that is mentioned in the option A. For 7th question, A is the correct answer. 8th question, expiration involves. So you know, during inspiration diaphragm contracts, external intercostal muscles also contracts. In expiration, diaphragm and intercostal muscles both gets relaxed. So for 8th question, answer A is the right answer. 9th, mark the correct pair of muscles involved in the normal breathing in humans. So for the breathing, the muscles which are involved are diaphragm and intercostal muscles. So next question, tidal volume in human beings is. So in tidal volume means the amount of the air which is inspired or expired. For a minute it is 6000 to 8000 ml, but here they are asking only tidal volume, means either it might be inspired or expired, only one breathing movement. So that is 500 ml. For 10th it is C option. Next question, the greatest quantity of air a person can breathe after a forced expiration. So the greatest quantity of air a person can breathe after forced expiration means, here the greatest means it is the maximum quantity of the air a person can breathe in after forced expiration, it is called. So option A, residual volume. Residual volume means the amount of the air which is remaining inside the lungs after forced expiration. So here they are asking the maximum volume which is going to enter inside our lungs. So A option is not correct. B option, tidal volume. Tidal volume, the amount of air which is remaining in the lungs after a normal respiration. So C option, vital capacity. So here vital capacity means it is the maximum amount of the air which is entering inside our lungs after the forceful expiration. So for 11th question, option C is the right answer. 12th one, which one has the lowest value? So tidal volume, it is 500 ml. Vital capacity, it almost ranges up to 5000 from 4000. IRV, it ranges from 2500 to 3000. Expiratory reserve volume, it ranges between 1000 to 1100 ml. So for 12th, option A is the right answer. 13th question, functional residual capacity can be represented as. So functional residual capacity, it means the volume of the air which is remaining in the lungs after the normal expiration, means during the resting phase some amount of the air is remaining inside our lungs after the normal expiration. So it tells normal expiration means it is ERV. The amount of the air remaining in the lungs means it is residual volume. So both the residual volume and expiratory reserve volume gives you the functional residual capacity. Hence for 13th question, answer B is the right answer. 14th one, vital capacity of the lungs is. So here vital capacity, it almost ranges from 4000 to 5000. So 5000 is given in the option C. So for 14th question, option C is the right answer. Next, 15th one, vital capacity of lungs is equal to. Vital capacity means, I've told, the maximum volume of the air which enters inside the lungs after the forceful expiration. So here that vital capacity can be calculated by the addition of tidal volume, expiratory reserve volume and inspiratory reserve volume. So for 15th question, answer is option A. 16th one, a person breathes in some volume of air by forced inspiration after having a forced expiration. This quantity of air taken in is, so for 16th answer is option C, because I've told vital capacity is the maximum amount of the air which enters inside after a forceful expiration. So for 16th answer is C option. 17th, 6000 to 8000 ml of air is option A, vital capacity of lungs, B, volume of normal expiration per minute, C, sum of vital capacity plus the residual volume, D is inspiratory capacity of lungs. So here vital capacity, it ranges from 4000 to 5000. Okay. B is volume of normal expiration per minute. Volume of normal expiration per minute, it is nothing but the tidal volume. So the tidal volume is 500 ml. That 500 ml, when you calculate it for a minute, that is for a minute a breathing movement of a person is 12 to 16 times. When you multiply 12 to 16 times with the 500 ml, you are going to get the answer, that is 6000 to 8000 ml. So for 17th question answer is B option. 18th, the breathing movements can be estimated by option A, stethoscope. So remember option A, stethoscope. Here stethoscope means it is a instrument used to measure the internal sounds of the human beings. B option, hygrometer. It is also the instrument used to measure the water vapor present in the soil or in the air. Sphygmomanometer. So it is also the instrument used to measure the blood pressure. Option D, it is the spirometer, which is the correct answer for question 18th, because the breathing movements of a healthy person will be 12 to 16 times. So that is measured by using the instrument, that is spirometer. 19th question, total lung capacity. So here total lung capacity, it almost ranges from 5.1 liter to 5.8 liter. So that is mentioned in similar or almost nearer to 5100 ml to 5800 ml is option A, because option A they have mentioned 5 liter to 6 liters. So for 19th question option A is the right answer. 20th, contraction of diaphragm. So contraction of diaphragm increases, option A, increases the volume of thoracic chamber in antero-posterior axis. Option B, increases the volume of thoracic chamber in dorsoventral axis. Option C, decreases the volume of thoracic chamber in antero-posterior axis. Decreases, D option, decreases the volume of thoracic chamber in dorsoventral axis. Actually contraction of diaphragm makes the thoracic volume to increase in the antero-posterior axis, which is mentioned in option A. So for 20th question option A is the correct answer. 21st, lungs are made up of air-filled sacs. The alveoli, means our lungs are made up of the air-filled sacs called alveoli. They do not collapse even after the forceful expiration. Means our alveoli or the lungs do not collapse even after forceful expiration, because our lungs cannot be empty any time. Why they cannot be empty? Because continuous gases will be exchanged in the lungs. Then continuous gases, how they can exchange even after expiration? Means remember, even after the forceful expiration or with the normal expiration, some amount of the air will be remaining in our lungs only. That is only called as the residual volume. So for 21st, option A is the correct answer. 22nd question. Assertion: during inspiration, pressure of air falls in the thorax. Reason: there is a rise in volume of thorax during inspiration. So assertion you read, during inspiration pressure of air falls in the thorax. Yes, it is true, the air falls in the pressure of air falls in the thorax, means the pressure of the air is going to get decreased during inspiration. Reason: there is rise in the volume of thorax during inspiration. Yes, when the size of the thorax is increased, the pressure is going to decrease. So here assertion and reason both are correct. Assertion, what the statement is given, that is due to the reason. So here reason is the correct explanation of assertion. So for 22nd question, the answer is A option. 23rd, pressure gradient between the lungs and atmosphere is maintained by. So here the breathing itself is observed with the help of pressure gradient, where that pressure gradient, it is mainly caused between our lungs and atmosphere. Who is going to create or who is going to generate this pressure gradient in between the lungs and the atmosphere is, that is the diaphragm. Intercostal muscles means it includes external also as well as internal also. So here the option for 23rd question is D. It is the right answer. Thank you students. So next we shall continue.